Hello and welcome to That's Football. Maura Icardi to Real Madrid or Arsenal. What a deal that would be. Would he leave Inter Milan? I think he's got 18 goals in 22 games this season, but Icardi's a player that I've spoken about plenty of times on the United stand before, and I'm not including Manchester United in this because I don't think Manchester United would be anywhere near Icardi January or in the summer with Lukaku there. So realistically, would Real Madrid want him? I think they would. Would they be able to prize him away from Inter Milan? Difficulty, but this is the sort of deal that I think Real Madrid would need to do and would be looking to do in the summer, based on the fact that Barcelona have romped away with La Liga this season, and Real Madrid are a club that doesn't sit back and let things happen. And I've watched Real Madrid a few times this season, and I personally think that they've got a good chance of winning the Champions League 3 times in a row. I think that their form is going to improve in the second half of the season. I watched the first half against Barcelona, as I've mentioned before, on this channel actually, on the watch-along for El Clasico, and I thought Real Madrid were very, very close to being back to their best. And with a decent number 9, I think they would have put Barcelona away in the first half because they were very, very poor. But Real Madrid's problem lies, as I've mentioned before, with Benzema. His strike rate is poor, and his build-up play is now suffering as well. That unselfishness that Ronaldo always thrived on is now becoming less important because he's not delivering in other areas of the game. And I think what Real Madrid need is a number 9 of quality. I've mentioned Harry Kane. I think Harry Kane would be perfect for them, and I think in a choice between Harry Kane and Icardi, I think Real Madrid would probably go for Harry Kane. What does Icardi bring that Kane doesn't do? Well, not an awful lot. They are pretty similar in some ways, but then very, very different. Harry Kane is more direct. I think he's more physical. He's better in the air. Whereas Icardi is slightly more tenacious in relation to he's only 5'11", and tenacious tends to be the sort of word that you use with smaller players. But he's got probably more tricks to him. He's bit more mobile, and certainly the work ethic. I think he would fit in at Real Madrid very, very well, and I think he would become a fan favourite quite quickly. Obviously hot-headed, has a bit of a tempestuous relationship with the Inter Milan faithful, captain of Inter Milan, only 24 years of age. I can't say enough good things about Icardi. I think the only thing that concerns anybody about Icardi is realistically the fact that he is a bit of a hothead, but for what he's achieved at 24 years of age and what he's doing this season, he's pretty much marking his card as one of the best strikers up and coming in world football, and a move is surely incoming. Inter obviously have money, AC Milan obviously have money, Serie A is obviously on the rise, but he's done his, I wouldn't even call it his apprenticeship. He's proved himself in Serie A, and I think his next move needs to be elsewhere. Would it be the Premier League? Would Arsenal have a chance of getting Icardi? What I'd say about Arsenal is that they may be acquiring the French Darren Bents with Lacazette, but they're about to lose Alexis Sanchez and possibly Mesut Ozil. And Arsenal can't survive losing those sort of players and replacing them with the likes of Lacazette. They will have to make a signing that's going to be the next Alexis Sanchez for Arsenal, the next Thierry Henry, the next player that really, Arsenal, they're always the nearly men. They never quite make it, but they've always got a player that you think, most Premier League sides would want. And that's where Arsenal are going to be lacking if they lose Ozil and Sanchez. So I do see Arsenal making a significant signing. Could they pull off something like Icardi? It depends who's looking at Icardi. If Real Madrid wants him, if a Barcelona or a PSG wants him, then Arsenal will have to get to the back of the queue. If none of those clubs want him, and you look at the Premier League clubs, and I don't think Man City would, Chelsea, I think Chelsea would suit Icardi quite well, but at the moment they've surely got to give Morata a bit more of a chance, although he's woeful. United, as I said, they're going to stick with Lukaku, and Liverpool, they've got their Firmino and plenty of forwards, so I don't think Icardi would go there. So maybe Arsenal, if none of the big clubs go for him, and I certainly think he'd suit the Premier League really well. His physicality and like I say, his tenacious attitude and fighting spirit, I think he'd fit the Premier League very, very well. But I think he'd fit La Liga very well. I wouldn't say no about Arsenal, but I think they'd have to get in line. And I think Real Madrid, personally, I think their first port of call will be Harry Kane. But I think it's time for Icardi to move. I think the relationship with Inter has been a good, but also quite a bad one. And I think he is ready now at the age he is to move to that next step and move to a bigger club. It just shows the sort of moves Real Madrid are going to make to try and close that gap with Barcelona. I mean, Barcelona, Coutinho's come in. They spent money on Dembele. There's talk of Griezmann and others coming in the summer. So they're going to keep strengthening. I think Real Madrid will. And it's interesting, just as a slight side context, as to how the Premier League reacts to that. Because Are they going to stand back and keep watching the best players go to Barcelona or Real Madrid or even PSG now? Or is the richest, best club in the world going to try and respond to that? In some ways, Icardi to Arsenal would help with that. But give us your comments below. Let us know what you think about Icardi to Real Madrid or even Arsenal. And thanks everyone for watching. Remember to subscribe to That's Football. Give us your thoughts, and we'll be back again soon with another video. Thanks for watching.